Whoa, Nelly, let's just get to it, shall we? I'm John Renton with my review WWE Survivor Series War Games 2022 from the TD Garden in Boston, Massachusetts. And you know what would have helped this show? Including a weapon or 50,000 inside the War Game structure. Also, you know what really would have actually helped us push it right over the top? A B-Blade advertisement in the middle of someone's Titantron for no goddamn reason. Okay, it sounds like I'm dumping on this show, and don't worry, I'm going to dump on some of it. There were elements of a good premium live event. Can't say pay-per-view anymore. Pay-per-view, even though it's a bit wordy, premium live event is still too wordy and too weird, and what the hell's a premium live event? But anyway, there were good parts of the show. There were also parts that made me think, man, this would be so much better if they didn't overdo it. 5 matches on this show. 5 matches, and this show went over 3 hours. Look, I get it. They wanted to give the War Games matches time. But come on, guys. The best War Games matches went maybe 25 minutes at the most. And the WWE incarnations have got... One went 47 minutes. I guarantee the women's match went close to that. And I get why the men's match has much storytelling as it did. And don't worry, I'll get to that. But honestly, War Games matches don't need to go nearly a goddamn hour. The same issue with AEW doing blood and guts. Less is more. Leave the fans, have it be enough of a blow-off. Build something for the future, but don't have it be like, okay, this is great. When's it going to end? When's it going to goddamn end? So the kickoff panel, Kayla, Booker T, who has not made a goddamn lick of sense since the Eisenhower administration, Jerry Lawler, speaking of the Eisenhower administration, Rosenberg, because Sam Roberts is busy, and Steve Patrick. I know his name's Kevin Patrick. He's better on the kickoff panels than he is on Raw. And it's unfair to knock Steve Patrick, because honestly, he's trying, but this is what happens when you take a backstage interviewer and immediately put him as the lead broadcaster on the flagship program. You probably should have thought that through, even though the guy's trying. So, WWE decided to enhance a few packages. First, they decided to enhance Sheamus's package. Fella! Raquel has a dislocated elbow and anal bleeding. What? Wow. It's actually a broken elbow, which they say she will be back in 4 to 6 weeks. Is it like, magical stem cell research done on the elbow? 4 to 6 weeks? You kind of need the elbow. I don't think 4 to 6 weeks is proper. You could have just said she dislocated it. Nevertheless, Shayna and Rousey talk about limb snapping, while Megan looks either confused or aroused or hungry. I'm not really sure. And Lawler was quoted as saying, Shotzi has been here for a cup of coffee. Lawler, she's been here for about 3.5 years. I know that time is a flat circle, and age is just a number, especially in your line of work. But come on, Lawler, you should know these things, if you gave a damn. And wait, maybe the reason he doesn't actually know that much about Shotzi is because she's a little old for him. So, then we have a mysterious Thanksgiving celebration. God, if it's like a Benoit summer. In fact, it should have had the same goddamn result, because then we wouldn't have had this goddamn thing going on. But nevertheless, Rhea looked great. More on her later. The panel was talking about Rhea repeatedly inserting her dominance, or maybe that's just what I heard. Speaking of enhanced packages, Charlotte is not coming back yet. Not yet. Probably soon. If she's not coming back soon, then I don't know what the hell's going on. But the same package they've had for Charlotte for a while. So Ozzy does the intro. Do you guys think that Ozzy Osbourne had a goddamn clue where he was? Has Ozzy Osbourne had a goddamn clue where he's been since 1987? Because I think the answer would probably be no. And the fact that he's still alive is a miracle. Cole and Graves calling the action. Oh boy. Becky gets a pop. Mia got literally nothing. Poor Mia Yim. I got nothing against Mia Yim, but she did not get much of anything. Bianca got a big pop, and we've got whipping action inside a cage. Maybe you shouldn't have said that. Some people in Boston might actually agree with that. And I love Boston, but let's be honest, there are a few weird people out there, and I've been there before. There are a lot of awesome people, but come on, you can't ignore the facts. So, I need Rhea to both step on me and throw me. I don't have issues. Shut up, you have issues. Team Bianca, Asuka, Mia Yim, Becky, and unfortunately Alexa taking on Team Damage Control. Bayley, Dakota, Io, Rhea, and Nikki Cross. Okay, so I'd like to say right now that I really should have made better predictions, because I got these matches backwards. I had the heels winning this and the face winning the other. And the face team winning the other, rather. And I was wrong. So it's a women's War Games match. Let me just say, at first, this started fine. I'm like, okay, they're cooking. They're doing some stuff. They're cooking with gas, as it were. Bianca and Dakota start off. Io just comes in next. I need her to moonsault me feet first, berate me, and then step on me again. I don't have issues. Shut up. You have issues. Io then got messed up in the corner. Don't know what the hell was going on there. Asuka comes out next. Totally fine here seeing Asuka and Io in the ring, tangled up and nowhere else. I think Io might have hurt herself, actually. Knocked herself a little loopy because she was acting a bit weird. What was that tumble in the corner? That was very, very weird. Also, why is there no roof on the War Games cage? You could have a roof on there. You're making the cage tall enough. A roof doesn't... Make the roof a little bit higher if you want, but just come on. The War Games cage needs a goddamn roof. It needed a roof. It needs a roof for the Blood and Guts version. I'm sorry, it just needs a goddamn... Well, wait, it has a roof for the Blood and Guts version. What a concept. Just have a roof. You don't need to have people diving off of shit. And also, it's pinfall or submission, not submission or surrender. Not any of that. And if you escape the cage, you forfeit it for your team. That's why you put a goddamn roof on it so nobody's tempted to escape. Whatever. I guess I'm just a traditionalist. But nevertheless... So, they're cooking, and then Nikki Cross comes in and brings a whole bunch of weapons in, and God damn it. Whoever came up with the idea to include a bunch of weapons in War Games, or Blood and Guts, or whatever, or any variation, deserves to be punched repeatedly in the face, in front of their family, preferably, because I am goddamn sick of weapons being included in every single match. You don't need to have weapons in every single match, especially when you have a legendary, or at least what was a legendary, structure like War Games, something where it's the cage. It's the idea that you're trapped. You can hit each other off the cage. Okay, you don't get blood, fine. You don't need to bring chairs, candlesticks, trash can lids, and all this stuff in there that makes it like every hardcore match that happened in ECW, happened in the WWE hardcore division, happened in WCW in its latter days, and so many other promotions. You don't need to do that. You don't need to do that. You can tell the story without having a whole bunch of furniture in it. It just fell off a cliff. It fell off a cliff despite the efforts. These women, well, 8 of the women, Nikki Cross, actually that's unfair, 9. Alexa couldn't really do anything. Because Alexa can't do much. I mean, she was doing better here. That's not saying much. But nevertheless, War Games doesn't need weapons, goddammit, is what I wrote down. Bayley comes out next, and then, she's going to get in there after getting 2 ladders. 2 ladders. 2 ladders in a War Games match. 2 ladders in a goddamn War Games match. Again, whoever decided to allow all these weapons in there should be punched. Repeatedly. Flogged. Maybe like, Casper Van Dien and Starship Troopers. So anyway, a table's in there. And trash cans that Mia Yim brings in. And it's garbage. It's just garbage. Just take the, you know what? You shouldn't even have the cage. You should have just said, ladies, go out there in 2 rings and just beat the shit out of each other. Because honestly, you didn't need the War Games thing because this feud, maybe, I know I'm probably taking it too seriously. I'm sorry, guys. But you don't need weapons in a cage match like this. If you want to bring in 1 chair, okay. You wanted to bring in 1 candlestick, fine. I mean, bring in 1 chair, fine. Maybe bring in 2 and have people do it. That's fine. I can understand that. But there were so many weapons, so much stuff strewn all over the place. It's amazing somebody didn't break their ankle trying to do a running spot. And all these women could have had a great match here, but no, there were elements of a great match in here. Unfortunately, it was just wasted. Rhea, that gear, Christ, God, that gear. Lynch out last. And now it begins. And then everybody just does everything. Becky to Bayley, come fight me, you little bitch. And then Rhea gets misted by Asuka. She got blue waffle misted. You're welcome for that. I'm just going to mock this at this point. Oh boy, the Tower of Doom was stopped. Doom, 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 doom. Io moonsaults off the cage. I'm amazed that nobody got hurt doing that. And we've got handcuffs where Alexa gets handcuffed and then handcuffs herself to Nikki Cross because Alexa's gonna go dark again. Yay. Let's just be all happy. Be all happy the dark goddess is coming back. There are people that are fans of Alexa and that's fine. I'm done with her, and I've been done with her for a while. So anyway, we get a ladder crash. We then get more moves spamming and all this stuff. We get a KOD to Bailey while Becky gets up top to leg drop Dakota and Io on a table. 1, 2, 3. Again, I mean, I wouldn't want Becky to do a move like that without something to cushion her fall, but maybe you could have just come up with something else. You didn't need to do stuff at the top. You need to do the stuff with all these weapons. Becky coming back from a separated shoulder after just a couple months is great. It's great that she's fine, but god damn it, you didn't need the weapons. For the women or the men, you didn't need them. We got a Bork package to fill time. Roman and Jay are talking. Jay knows that Sammy... I knew that Sammy couldn't be trusted, Jay's saying, and Roman says he will handle it. He will talk to Sammy, find out where his loyalties lie. Tells Heyman to call Sammy. Then we get a package on Styles and Balor. And Styles and Balor had a match where, well, the Good Brothers, home of the Good Brothers, may we take your order, Priest and Dominic, ended up repeatedly inserting themselves, battling, and then fought off. They just fought off through the crowd, seemingly into the streets, possibly into the Boston Harbor. I don't know. This was a well-wrestled match. It's just a goddamn shame the feud has not been any good. It sounds like I'm dumping on the show, and I'm dumping on aspects of it, but let me just say, this was well-wrestled. Good counters, good psychology, focusing on Nia Balor. Styles... getting beaten down as well. When he got the calf crusher, Balor's like, ow, doing this, like, ow, what am I doing? That's my hand on his head. But good counters, good wrestling. Really hard to goddamn care about the feud, but these two put on a pretty goddamn good match. He could have done without the people. Just say the people were barred from ringside and just save that, because nobody really needed to see Dominic on camera. I mean, I sure don't. And a phenomenal forearm, 1, 2, 3. Okay. First pay-per-view win for AJ Styles since Crown Jewel 2019. No, really. Liv Morgan package from her WWE 24 deal, I believe. I think that's what it was. Or it was 24/365. I'm trying to remember. I reviewed it, and I can't tell you what the title was, but I know it was a pretty good show. And you know what? Hopefully Liv gets featured going forward. Shotzi took on Ronda for the SmackDown Women's Championship. Shayna Baszler was in Ronda's corner, and go back if you want to see one of the worst modern era matches, period, of any company. Good God, Ronda, you refuse to pay trans, refuse to acknowledge trans, refuse to say that trans people actually deserve rights, and you also refused apparently to even try to put on a competent match. Now, to be fair, there was this badly planned DDT spot on the apron, but here's an idea. Don't do it if you're not willing to go with it. Because, good God, Ishii and Chris Jericho did a similar one on Dynamite, but you can excuse those two because Chris Jericho's a goddamn drained out beanbag chair or drained out waterbed, and Ishii is basically broken down and has needed shoulder surgery for about the last 12 years. Honestly, this was shameful. This was goddamn shameful. Now, Shotzi had to fight him 2-on-1. Did what she could. I mean, she dove. Shayna pushed Ronda out of the way to take the dive. And Shotzi isn't my favorite, but she at least gave effort here. But God, she was getting no help from Ronda Rousey. Just have Becky beat her at Mania and never bring Ronda back again. The first run was fine until the end. This run has been abysmal. I will say that heel Ronda, this is the best version of Ronda we can see. Until the bell rings and then she stops giving a shit. And look, I get it. If you don't want to be there, that's fine. But it's not like you couldn't get endorsements. I mean, it's not like she couldn't get acting role. Anybody that saw her acting, I mean, I'm really, really sorry. I'm very sorry you saw Ronda's acting. But this was terrible. Oh, boy. This match dropped off a goddamn cliff pretty much from the opening bell. And Armbar wins it. Look, and I get it. I get it. I absolutely get it that sometimes it could be a clash of styles. And even if Shotzi isn't my favorite, this was abysmal, did nothing for her. She did everything she could, and Ronda gave her absolutely nothing. So yeah, probably shouldn't have brought Ronda back, because I don't think that she's really been beneficial to the company. So yeah, this is pretty goddamn stupid. Also, Ronda Rousey, probably was thinking of more Sandy Hook conspiracy theories and how to possibly still support Alex Jones, despite the fact that he was found to be a liar and a piece of shit. Just like anybody that believes that shit. Anyway, Roman asked Sammy, well, why'd you lie to Jay? I lied to Jay, Sammy said, because he didn't want to put more pressure pushing down on him, pushing down on you. because he didn't want to do that, because he wanted to make sure they got the War Games advantage. Unfortunately, they didn't. And Sammy, with tears in his eyes, basically says he is loyal and that he will not betray them. He is with them and all this. And Roman hugged him, and you saw it. It's all good. And then you saw that camera, and Roman's like, Roman knows, because the Usos are blood, Solo's blood. Sammy isn't, but he needs Sammy as a means to an end. That's pretty much it. So there you go. Theory had a B-Blade ad playing during his Titantron. It's not his Titantron video. Oh, that is an encapsulation of just how goddamn stupid Theory is, and just how pointless and how little they think of Theory. Look, somebody from the production staff is getting fired. Can it just be Kevin Dunn and we can just get somebody else there? Can Kevin be Dunn? Because nobody wants Kevin Dunn. Nobody likes Kevin Dunn. His dad should have pulled out that night, and we shouldn't have ever had to deal with Kevin Dunn. Stupid Bucky Beavertooth motherfucker. So, whoa, it's Seth Pheasant Rollins versus Lashley versus Theory. A three-way match for the U.S. Championship. Okay, all things considered, despite the fact that I can't really stand one of these guys, this was pretty good. Not great. It had elements of being great. The finish kind of killed it for me. But there were dives and plenty of power moves from Lashley. Theory looked more legit and everything. They're trying to rehabilitate Theory and everything, and really he got dealt a bad hand also. They're trying to do minor tweaks to Austin Theory's character. For more information, Google Austin Theory minors. But never mind that. We get a stomp to Lashley, we get a superplex, but then we get a spear out of the Falcon Arrow, and Theory falls on Rollins 1, 2, 3, and Lashley can't quite make the save, and there we go. The U.S. Championship is in the dumpster again. I know people like Theory. That's fine. You can like Theory all you want. When he develops a personality that doesn't involve him being super goddamn bland, then I'll be interested. For now, no. And actually, I'm never going to be interested in Theory because I made up my mind, because the stuff with the Way was shit, and it pretty much cemented the fact that I can't stand him. We get a Miz package to fill more time. New Day, they're promoting Black Friday sales. So, Owens comes out in a Dusty Rhodes Bionic elbow shirt. That was pretty goddamn nice. And the Bloodline make their entrance. Well, other people make their entrance, but the Bloodline Okay, terrible rendition of Roman's theme. I don't know what the fuck that was. It's Team U Canada. It's like, no, you know what? Not going to make the Black Panther reference because it wouldn't make any sense. It is Drew McIntyre, Ridge Holland, Peter Dunne, Sheamus, and Kevin Owens versus the Bloodline, Roman, the Usos, Solo, and Sammy, with Heyman just standing there for a while. So, we get Peter Dunne and Jay starting. It's men's War Games match, and instantly Pete starts violently fingering Jay. This was more story-based, and I will say that of the two, I enjoyed elements of the women's match more. My problem is both had weapons. They didn't need to, and I don't care about harping on that. You can call me an out-of-touch wrestling fan for all I care. I have to be fair. If I say it about AEW, if I say it even about New Japan doing, some stupid shit. If I'm going to say it about NXT doing their dumb shit, I'm going to have to say it about this. This is dumb. This is unnecessary. Why the hell is this happening? Anyway, arm focus by both. Ridge comes out. The faces, by the way, have the advantage in the War Games, which is really stupid. Now, I get it. It was so Roman could come out and clean house, but they eventually got to a good point, but they went along a weird path to get there. So Sammy comes out next. Roman says, go out there and help Jay. Okay, so he eventually does. The crowd pops for Sammy. Sammy Uso chants. So they're popping for anything he does. Drew comes out to boos. Boo, McIntyre. Ha, 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 ha. And then... Jesus Christ. Oh, Jesus. Jimmy comes in, and three tables get brought in. Good. Weapons in a War Games match. We haven't seen that since about 2 hours ago. Maybe 2.5 hours ago. I don't know. Well, yeah, about 2.5. I don't care. Owens comes in and brings in 3 chairs. By the way, there's argument between Sammy and Usos, specifically Sammy and Jay. And chairs in, and then a stare down with Sammy. Briefly, a table bump. Solo comes in and goes nuts, as you would expect. Sheamus comes out last for his team, and just decides to just, beat the shit out of everybody. Boom, boom, boom. I thought Owens got hurt at one point because he was down for a while. Roman comes out last, and the crowd roars, and then we get a 5-on-5. We get some good stuff, and then we get a, 50 beats of the Bowery. We get, however the hell it is, we get the entire bloodline getting beaten off from behind while looking at each other. Man, let me tell you, that is the second worst beaten off, sequence that I've seen on camera in a cage. You don't want to know about the first. Always search history. Moving on. And then we get a spear. We have, spear that got broken up. We're getting more good stuff. They didn't use the weapons as much here, but the weapons were still unnecessary. Jay accidentally kicked Sammy. And they just keep doing stuff, move spamming. Owens and Roman, they go at it. And it looks like Owens hits a stunner. And then Sammy stops the count just before 3. And then Owens is like, that's your family, that's your family. Catches a kick from Jay. Low blow from Sammy. Sets him up for he sets him up for Jay to hit a splash. 1, 2, 3. And then we get a hug from Roman, a hug from Jay, and everything's all happy in the bloodline for a bit. Because they did what they needed to do, and they are going to get rid of Sammy very soon. I don't know if it's going to be right. I don't know if it's going to be this Friday. They are going to get rid of him. They are going to get rid of him. They are going to torch him, and they are going to beat him up. And people are just going to be all upset, and I'm going to be laughing. We all knew where this was going to go. And then Sammy's going to be gone. He'll come back at the Rumble. Big pop. And they'll have to do something where he has to earn Owens' trust. Or they wait until the Rumble, they do something. But that would be hot-shotting it. There were good things to the show, but the overuse of the weapons, and I'm sorry, that middle card, Shotzi and Ronda, not good at all. Sometimes the crowd was up for it. The crowd was definitely up for the main event, up for the women's War Games match. I don't know. Something about it didn't fully click. There were good parts, and oh boy. Then there was some bullshit. Agree, disagree what I said, like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Wetland. I'll see you soon.